Corners, welcome to the Crafty Corner. I have a friend with me today. This is Sir Scarecrow. He is a little scarecrow puppet that you can make. Come on down to the library and get a packet and I'll show you how to do it. In your packet, you are going to have a paper bag. You're going to have some eyeballs, and I've already cut mine out. You're going to have some orange paper and then a strip of paper of different colors for the stripe of his hat, some yellow for his hair, and you will need a marker and some scissors and some glue. All right, so first thing we're going to do is I went ahead and cut out the eyes, and so then you can position the eyes however you want on your paper plate. I'm sorry, your paper bag. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and glue those down with my glue stick. I'm going to make his face first, and then we'll do the hat. So maybe I could make this Mrs. Scarecrow and give her some eyelashes. Okay, and then you can make whatever kind of nose you want. Let's make a little triangle nose. And then the smile. And as you look at this one, if you look at the books that I brought, they usually have these little stitches on them. So we'll do that. And like little patches, different places, you can put some little patches. So, and if I want to go ahead and make her Mrs. Scarecrow, let's just give her the eyelashes. There we go. All right, now for the hat, you are going to want to position your orange paper on the bag. You're going to want to have about an inch off on this side and an inch off on this side. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over, and I'm going to mark, because you don't want it too much bigger. So I'm going to mark about right here. About right here. Okay, I'm going to come down. That's about how much I want it sticking out. And then, actually, you know what? I want it sticking out a little bit more than that because I need to come up and then cut over and then come down. Okay, so once you've got like the hat drawn, then you can cut it out. And remember, it's always better if you cut it a little bit too big the first time, you can always make it smaller. But if it is too small, then you have to start over. So there's a pretty good, decent looking hat. Let's turn it over and see how I like it on her. I'm going to turn it over so I don't see my pencil marks. And that looks pretty good. And I can take the brown strip and put it here. If you have stickers or sequins or other things, you could make a glittery hat. You could, do a lot of other types of things. You could even maybe make this more of a rounded hat, sort of like the one in my book here. So why don't I go ahead and make this one more of a rounded hat? So I'm going to come up a little bit here and just sort of trim off the corners. Trim off the corners and make this more of a flappy hat like that. And I'm going to glue my brown strip. I'm just going to wiggle some glue right through here and glue that brown strip in. And I know it's hanging off. That's okay. I'm going to turn it over and then I can cut it off. Oh, how cute. All right, so there's that. Now, before we glue the hat on, I need to take the yellow and make strands of hair. So you just want to cut little tiny strands, little tiny strips for the straw that's going to stick out of the scarecrow's head. You can have as much as you want or as little as you want. That should probably be enough for mine. So what I want to do is put some glue. Now be careful, boys and girls, because if you really want to use this as a puppet, you don't want to glue the flap down. So be careful where you put the glue and make sure it only stays up here on the flap. Then you're going to take your little strips of paper, and depending on how long you want the hair to go, you can have it sticking down as far as you want. This part up here, remember, is going to get covered up with the hat. So Let's go ahead and get a few more strands here. They don't have to be all nice and even. Okay, with straw, it just sticks out all over the place under the hat. So I'm going to go ahead and get a few more over here. Looks like I have 2 more, 1 for each side. Sticking this one over here. Oop, this one. There we go. Not sure I like that one sticking right over there above her eye, so I'm going to squish it over a little bit. Maybe make it stick off the side of her head a little bit more. You can maneuver them around a little bit before they get really stuck down. Okay. Once you have your hair in place, ta-da, you're going to put on the hat. And I can see where the top of my hat is a little sharp. I'm going to trim that off just a little bit so it's not so pointy. Perfect. Take your white glue once again, put some glue on top of the hair and over the whole top part of that paper bag. Make sure you get the corners. Lay the hat down, and we have an adorable Mrs. Scarecrow. Okay, nicely done. All right, boys and girls, this is it. I probably wouldn't play with her or him very much until it dries, okay? So here's this one. We have matching Mr. and Mrs. Scarecrow. Thank you so much for watching the Crafty Corner. Join me again next week for another craft. Bye now.